If you are watching this video, then you have been chosen to be on the leading edge of humanity's quantum jump to the next level of our evolution, the highest potential timeline for all of us, which is the frequency of love. Every 25,900 years, the precession of the equinoxes signals the completion of a cycle on planet Earth. This evolutionary cycle is known as the Great Year. The Earth's axis is actually always wobbling, similar to a spinning top, and this wobble is known as axial precession. And every 25,900 years, it makes one complete circular wobble, and that is the Great Year. As this wobbling movement alters our planet's position in relation to the constellations of the zodiac, within this Great Year, there are many smaller yet significant cycles known as the ages of the zodiac and the yugas. Every 2,000 years, we shift from one constellation in the zodiac to another, moving counterclockwise through each zodiac sign. As we progress through the different zodiac aspects of this cycle, we move through the different levels of human consciousness. So we live in a cyclical time, and we move through different levels of human consciousness in this cyclical fashion. As you may know, we are currently in the transitional period, moving from the age of Pisces to the age of Aquarius. And for a moment here, I want you to stop thinking of astrology as kind of this out there spiritual woo-woo kind of concept, and I want you to start understanding astrology as how the simulation is programmed, the settings, the current settings of the simulation. So when you have the planet shifting in these different ways, aligning with these different constellations of the zodiac, the planet's position relative to these different zodiac constellations is shifting the settings of the simulation. So in simple terms, if I wanted to program a simulation to have a hunter-gatherer society, I would set the simulation on this particular planetary alignment so that those powerful energetic influences from those specific zodiac constellations manifest in a way that influences human consciousness to create that type of society. So these energetic influences that come from the astrological position at the Earth in space at any specific point in time have huge influences on human consciousness and how human society is structured, and they can be viewed as how the simulation is set up or programmed for that particular point in time. According to Dolores Cannon, we are nearing the ending of this current Great Year, and the current completion, the ending of this cycle, offers a huge portal, a transformative portal that we can use to uplevel our consciousness, to quantum leap into a new level of consciousness. As we near the end of this cycle, as we near the end of this Great Year, we are at a crossroads between our current modern day society and technological advancements, as well as this old ancient wisdom, these ancient rituals, these ancient medicines, this ancient knowledge that is starting to resurface. And so we are currently at a merging of timelines here as this cycle comes to an end. The past timelines and the future timelines are merging. And so we are at a pivotal moment where we are merging the past and the future. So the spiraling nature of time shows us that past, present, and future are interconnected, and it is only the current settings of the simulation, the astrological alignments that are currently in play, which energies are influencing the simulation, that show us which time period is happening now. So based on the settings of the simulation, based on which astrological alignment is currently in use, this will structure the time period. This will structure what time period the simulation is projecting. And so what is happening now as we are coming to the end of this Great Year cycle is that there is a call for the merging of these ancient timelines, this ancient knowledge with the future timelines, the technological innovations and modern society merging with the ancient wisdom, the lost wisdom of these ancient civilizations. And so a lot of beings that are on the planet right now were beings that also lived during these ancient times, that were also a part of these old, advanced, ancient civilizations with all of this knowledge that has been covered up and lost as we moved through these periods of darkness and forgetting. So a lot of these individuals from these ancient civilizations are returning now, are incarnating now in order to merge future timelines with this ancient wisdom. And so you may be starting to be awakened to your own ancient wisdom that you possessed for many lifetimes living as a spiritual teacher or living in these highly advanced spiritual times. We are now remembering who we really are. We are now being called to awaken and step back into our true spiritual natures, because at this point in our planet's evolution and in our evolution, we are at that point in time where we are being called now to awaken and to step into this new chapter. Because with this Aquarius rising in the east, with the beginning of this new cycle, we are now at this pivotal time where we have this opportunity to move into this higher level of consciousness. And instead of re-emerging into another cycle, into another Great Year, we have the opportunity here to actually opt out of going through another cycle and instead opt into a huge evolutionary jump, a quantum leap in consciousness. And so as we are nearing the end of a cycle like this, there is an opportunity for humanity's consciousness consciousness to make a quantum leap into a whole new dimensional way of living. And so this is what some people are referring to as the shift from the 3D reality to the 5D reality. So if you look at 3D reality, it's governed by time, correct? So you have these spirals of time. You have past, present, and future. You have history books. You have all of this stuff that puts you on the 3D linear timeline, right? And so as we end this cycle, we have this opportunity to raise our consciousness to a frequency in which it is no longer a match to the cycle. We are able to opt out of this cycle of forgetting and remembering all these different cycles of time, and we are able to opt in to a higher frequency where all time is now, where all time exists simultaneously. So what we want to do here is that we want to merge the ancient and the future timelines into one, and we want to raise our consciousness to the point where we are able to shift into a higher frequency, a higher level of understanding of our spiritual nature, of who we really are, so that we can then remove ourselves from this cycle, because we are no longer separate from the ancient timelines. We are merging ancient timelines and we are merging future timelines into one timeline, which breaks us out of the cycle, because we are no longer being governed by separation and time and moving through these linear cycles, these ages of different zodiacs. We are no longer moving through this. We are instead quantum leaping. We are quantum jumping our consciousness as humanity to what they would consider the fifth dimensional consciousness. And so we are removing ourselves from the aspects of this cycle, from having to understand linear time in a way to understand our evolution. The fifth dimensional consciousness would be outside of that. It would be outside of evolving through time, evolving through this cycle. And we are instead in a fifth dimensional reality, a fifth dimensional consciousness, where we are living in a way outside of the confines of needing time to evolve. We are going to be more awakened to our true nature and more awakened to the power that we possess within us. And so if time is a fourth dimensional construct, if we are merging the past, present, and future timelines, if we are merging the ancient timelines with the future timelines by merging the ancient knowledge with the future technological advancements, we are essentially stepping out of time. And since time is a fourth dimensional concept, we are stepping from the third dimension, the fourth dimension, to the fifth dimensional consciousness. And so this merging of ancient and future timelines is essentially the shift from the third dimensional consciousness to the fifth dimensional consciousness, because once these timelines are merged, we will no longer be in this cycle where the timelines are separate, where there is a time period where we are in this civilization, a time period where we are in this civilization, a time period in this civilization. It will no longer be these separate periods of time. It'll all be merged into one timeline, and that is the fifth dimensional consciousness. And so that is a way that shifting from the third dimensional reality to the fifth dimensional reality can be explained. And so the way that we achieve this is that we align with the frequency of love, because love is all that is, right? Love is how everything is connected. And so when we are able to quantum jump into a frequency of love, then we are quantum jumping out of this cycle of time, and we are merging timelines to transcend this cycle, this great year of time, and we are essentially stepping into a new dimension. We want to quantum leap ourselves from the energy that has been on this planet, this energy of forgetfulness, of forgetting who we are, this striving energy, into this energy of love, this energy of understanding that we are all connected, that we are all one, that we are perfect as we are, that we are all whole and perfect beings within ourselves. It's moving from an energy of striving for something outside of ourselves and moving into an energy of love and acceptance for who we are, and love and acceptance for all of humanity. The mass consciousness of humanity has been vibrating at the frequency of the solar plexus chakra, right? If you look around you can kind of see this energy, which isn't good or bad. It's just a state of being where we are kind of like looking at our self-concept. There's a lot of who am I relative to something else? Like, how much money do I make relative to something else? What do I need to do so that I can strive and become enough? Things like this type of competition, consumer energy. And that's why there's so much consumer energy on the planet right now, is that we're vibrating at that frequency of I need to become something more than what I am. I need to do this so that I am good enough. And so right now, as humanity is shifting into this age of Aquarius, we are being called to shift also our frequency up to our heart chakra, into this anahata heart chakra energy. And so this is what humanity as a whole is shifting into. And this also represents our shift into a different frequency of being, into a different dimensional reality of being. And so as the planet, as Gaia goes through her own transitions of her own consciousness, all of us who are on Gaia must also go through our own levels of consciousness and awakening. And we must shift into this heart chakra energy. And so as we are moving into this new age, we are also aligning with the heart chakra energy, which will open us up to love and acceptance and shift us into more of our divine nature. nature. So this quantum jump that humanity, that the mass consciousness of humanity is making now here in this transitional phase from the age of Pisces to the age of Aquarius, can also be perceived as a quantum leap into the frequency of love, into the frequency of the heart chakra. So if you're watching this video, you are somebody who is called to participate in this quantum jump into the highest possible timeline for humanity, the highest possible timelines of love, bliss, and acceptance of oneself, and acceptance of all humanity as perfect as they are. And so we have been going through this transitional period, releasing all of this denser energy of the past, all this energy of separation and competition and all of this antagonist energy, and we are stepping into the new. We have been releasing all of this, and now we are ready for the next level, the quantum jump to love. The way that you can perceive this kind of shift, this releasing, this letting go, is to see yourself almost as like two aspects here. So you have kind of the aspect of you that's thinking, right? You have your mental aspect that's thinking, that's comparing, that's judging, that's adding all this meaning to all the things around you and deciding whether it's good or bad, deciding whether you're good enough or whether you're less than or better than another person or another thing. You have this aspect of you that's kind of like, in a way, in some people, it may be stressed out, it may be tense because it needs to become something more. But I kind of see this as almost just like a shell that's around our true essence. So our true essence is a being that is in love, bliss, and freedom. So you're vibrating at this frequency of love and freedom, and this frequency allows you to express yourself with total authenticity without judgment for yourself or another. So it's almost like, in a way, like removing the shell of all these limitations, of all these judgments, of all these comparisons, removing that shell and stepping into your true authenticity and being able to express yourself fully, who you truly are, without comparing or judging or perceiving anything more than observing. So the main way to step in quantum jump into this vibration of love, this love frequency, is self-love, right? So it's about taking that aspect of you for what it is, that shell of you, understanding that this is a part of you that has been passed down to you based on generations of programming, generations of things happening within this big cycle of human consciousness. All of this programming and all these meanings and judgments have been passed on to you through generations, and you're wearing like a shell of all of this stuff. But your true nature is this being that is able to express itself fully without judgment for itself or for its others. So what we need to do in order to quantum leap into this timeline where ancient and future timelines of spiritual knowledge merge into one all-encompassing timeline is that we need to embody this energy of love for ourselves. We need to embody this freedom and love of expressing our true nature, because when you're in that frequency, you are aligned with the frequency of love, and the frequency of love is all that is, right? I'm sure you've heard this before, that everything is love at its highest level, right? And so when you're aligning with this frequency of love and freedom and expression for yourself, you are aligning with this quantum jump into love. And so I want us to take a moment here to actually quantum jump live into this love timeline, because when we have multiple people, multiple beings, multiple energies coming together and putting their energies together for one purpose, we are able to create a big ripple effect, a huge shift in human consciousness. So the more people that watch this video and do this quantum jumping quick meditation that I'm going to demonstrate for you now are actually going to be able to create a powerful shift in humanity. And we are going to be able to create kind of an energetic clump, or like a thought form, an egregore that will have an energetic pull that will call other people to align with this frequency of love, with this timeline of love. So we're essentially kind of assisting, calling humanity to align with this love frequency by virtue of doing this meditation to quantum jump into the timeline of love. So I want you all to, for a moment here, close your eyes, visualize yourself as two aspects. The aspect of you that is the mental body, that is the judgment, perceiving, analytical aspect, and envision yourself as the aspect of you that is free, the aspect of you that is expressing yourself fully, that is living the life that you want without limits, without judgment. Visualize these two aspects, and I want you to fully kind of step into the aspect of you that is in this freedom energy, that is in this love energy, that is fully expressing yourself. And I want you to send that love energy into the other aspect of you that is vibrating at that frequency of judgment and what is good, what is right, what do I need to become, am I good enough? Allow this aspect of you that is love, freedom, full self-expression to send love to this other aspect of you, and allow that love, that consciousness to alchemize this other aspect of you also into love, also into freedom. And so just take a couple of minutes to really feel that consciousness penetrating this aspect of you that has been weighed down with all these judgments abundance and generational programming. Allow this consciousness of the part of you that is love to penetrate this other part of you. Allow it to alchemize this other part of you, and allow yourself to fully now feel this feeling of who you truly are, this feeling of your unique self-expression on earth. I want you to visualize your unique self-expression rippling out around you. I want you to visualize this expanding around you, sending out energy of full self-expression, full love and acceptance for yourself out around you in larger and larger ripples. Imagine it covering the town that you're living in. Imagine your unique self-expression, your unique love for yourself covering the country that you're living in. And now I want you to imagine this love energy, this self-love, this self-expression, this freedom to express who you truly are. Imagine this covering the entire planet, and take a moment to just allow this energy to engulf this entire planet that we live on, sending love and your unique self-expression energy all around the planet. And now I want you to return back to your body, still in this amazing vibration of love, freedom, and self-expression. And I want you to now decide that you have quantum jumped into the highest timeline for yourself, the highest expression for yourself, the timeline of love, bliss, happiness, and freedom for yourself, where you get to live as your authentic self, living the life that you want to live with no limits, because you are limitless. You are all powerful, and allow yourself to decide that you are now this new version of yourself. And I want you to go out into the world and fully express yourself, fully be the loving, free being that you truly are. Be the artist that you are, be the writer that you are, be the singer that you are. Whatever it is, that passion that calls you, it is your true expression. I want you to go out into the world and embody this true expression, and allow this new shift into this higher timeline of love to bring you your dream life. And if you want to learn more about how to shift realities instantly and how to shift your identity instantly so that you can truly embody the person that you want to become, check out my videos here. How to enter the void state to shift reality instantly, and identity shifting, how to enter the void state to shift your identity. In these videos, I show you how to enter the void state, and then I also show you a couple of techniques that you can use to shift reality and shift your identity so that you can truly embody the person and the reality that you want to experience in this life.